This morning, when I was eating my breakfast, I heard a sudden rush of water. And it was coming out of the ceiling right here, landing right down here. I put the bucket there, but it got my backpack and the vacuum cleaner and all sorts of stuff all wet. And what it appears to be is this is the toilet upstairs, and you can see stuff running down the outside of that elbow. And I don't know if you can see up in there, the outside of the coupling is gross. And the plywood, I think it's plywood, that is around the toilet, has lots of water staining. And this morning when it was wet, I could actually see, you can see a little bit of dampness there in the corner. I could see water had made its way around the seal upstairs and into the plywood and was dripping down, running down here, and was dripping out of the seam here. So I really need to change that seal up there, but we're gonna do the whole toilet because we don't like that toilet. I'll go show you the situation. This toilet is very old. Has an enormous tank. It's probably at least 2 gallons, maybe 3 gallons per flush. So not very efficient there. It's a round bowl. It's very short, very small. It's not comfortable to sit on, maybe for small children. And then, it's gonna be really hard to see, but the floor is very uneven in this area. Not picking it up on the camera, but there's some tiles that are loose. There's grout missing, and this toilet rocks because it's just not fastened very well on the uneven floor. So, at the minimum, need to pull the toilet out, check and change the seal, get it leveled, put caulk around it, and if I'm going to do all that work, I'm going to put in a toilet. I'm not putting this one back. I'm going to put one that's modern, uses less water, comfortable, all that stuff. So we got this Kohler. We're going to do the whole deal. Toilet seat, new seal, shims, supply hose, because that one's a little rusty that's on there. Alright, so first step, I'm going to turn the water off, and I hope this valve works because I don't have any others. Okay, that's good. No new leaks, also good. So I'm going to just flush this a couple times, get the water out of the tank. Okay, the tank is empty. The bowl is full, so I'm going to grab a plunger and plunge this bowl out just to get the water out. I just want to have the least amount of spillage as I'm jostling this thing all around. Alright, let's see if we can get this water out of here. Alright. Disconnect the water line here. We may get a little spillage out the bottom of the tank. Yeah, that's the drip. Doesn't look too bad. Now, I don't know if you can see, these bolts that hold it on are pretty rusty, but they're also very loose. So, the bolt head is spinning. I'm going to do the same over here, and I think I need to go get some needle nose pliers to finish it off. Alright, that's not working very well. Let me get some different pliers. that off. And the washer. Alright, so the toilet is now free from the ground. So down under here, you got a couple nuts that hold the tank on. There's that one. Oh, I can't see over here. I have to do it by feel. Alright. There's that. Now the tank should just lift right off. And if it does, I'm going straight outside with it. Bring this outside and come back for the other half. Oh yeah. Alright, let's see if this bottom half will come out. Yep, there we go. We're free of the wax ring. There's really nothing to grab on this guy. So let's see what we have here. Unless the wax ring went with the toilet, I don't see any seal whatsoever here. So that probably explains our problem. It's a little damp over here. So yeah, I think that was leaking just because there was no seal at all. Pull those out. Luckily, it seems like the flange is in good enough shape to use. We got to do some floor repair. We're going to caulk and grout and kind of get this cleaned up so we can put the new one on. Let me get this water line out of here. Oh, bit of a mess. Looks like the next one over is loose too.
Yeah.
Oh, all those right there. That whole section. But like the grout is holding them, but they're not adhered to the floor at all.
Yeah.
I guess we have to fix those. Stop prying them up.
So the water that was dripping down was coming around the outside of the...
Yeah, I think it was damp over here when I pulled the toilet up.
Ugh.
And that's where I saw the moisture below as well, so.
So we feel good about just putting new over bad, because right now that's all we can do.
We're not gonna rip up the whole floor and
Yeah.
put new plywood down. And checking to make sure that this toilet is a modern, normal toilet meant for a 12-inch rough-in, which means that the pipe coming up through the floor is 12 inches from the wall, and in this case, that's exactly what we have. So the toilet will fit. Good news. Ready for some adhesive?
Yeah. These three. I swept it out.
All four of those?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the other one is right there. I'll put it. Is that...
I'd push them down, like, yeah. So I don't like using wax rings because they make a mess and you get one shot, and if you don't do it right, then you need to get a new one. So I'm using these, I don't even know what the brand is, but it's a waxless seal fluid master, it says. It comes with this extension, so if your flange is like, you know, below, let's say you have like really thick tile or hardwood floor or something, you can make up that 3/4 difference, but our flange is right there, so we don't need this. This guy just goes right down in there. That goes in there. And they send these little plastic washers to kind of help keep it up. which is pretty handy. Slide that in there. All right. Put the new seal down inside. That'll sit just like that. And then we've got our bolts, or our nuts, I mean, for when we set the toilet on there. I'm a little worried about that water, but I think we're gonna be okay. Kind of line the holes up, and usually you can kind of feel it set down into the hole. I couldn't really feel if that went, but I can see the seal moving underneath, and I've got these bolts pretty much centered in the holes, so I'm pretty comfortable that that's in. Side to side, it's pretty close. The right side could come up maybe an eighth. Front to back, that needs some work. The front needs to come up a good 1/4 inch probably. So these are just some plastic toilet shims. They're kind of just like at an angle. You can kind of see, except this is wedged, so we do that. Do that. So now front to back is pretty good. It could come up another eighth probably in the front. Side to side is perfect right now. I may just leave that as I bolt down in the back. It may shift that a little bit, so I'm probably going to put these on and tighten it down. Oof. I don't know. These are slippery. These shims are very slippery. And so the whole front end wants to move. I don't like that so much. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's put the tank on. That'll help align everything with the wall. This will just set on there. Sure the bolt holes are lined up. Looks pretty good. There's nuts somewhere, I gotta find them. I made one error. I forgot these white discs. These should have gone on here so that the caps, like the decorative caps, could snap on. So I gotta put those on. I have the hardware here to hold the tank on, so I'm gonna do that just so it doesn't fall. Alright, those are started. Now the key with this is to do it evenly so that the tank stays level. And it'll just pull it all in. Everything is rubber mounted basically. It really needs to go that way quite a bit more to be level with the tile, but you know what? The tile may not be level. I'm just realizing. Yeah. Let's see. It's looking pretty good up and down. I gotta get this left side a little bit lower. It's pretty close, but Alright, we're gonna call that pretty good. The other thing, while I'm looking at it, see the handle is floppy, so it's gotta be put in there, but this has a plastic nut. It's a left-hand nut, so lefty-tighty. Tighten that up. Okay, that works good. I guess I just gotta put these plastic washers on, and then we can test it out. Got those little plastic things on there. Just wanted to show you something. This still wobbles left to right. And actually what's moving, I'm not sure you're gonna be able to see it, but is the whole floor is flexing. The flange is attached to the toilet, but not attached very well to the rest of the house. So it's not going to leak because of that seal we're using. It's not moving relative to the flange, but that's going to have to be addressed at some point. So I guess we'll put that on our list. Someday we will have to tear up this floor and redo the subfloor to address that. But not today. Today we need a functional toilet. So this is also a new one for me. This is the new hose I bought. You can see it's 3/8 to 1/2 inch universal fit, which I wasn't sure how they did that, but they use these like adapters. So we have a 3/8. So this is the 3/8 adapter. It'll thread onto our valve down there, and then this will thread onto that. So it's kind of nifty. I guess it is one more place to leak though, so I don't know. We'll see how this goes. So it's just to thread this on hand tight. And then thread this on hand tight, and then a 1/2 a turn more. Okay, that's hand tight right there. And of course, I can't get the wrench in here at all. Well, there's 1/2 a turn past hand tight. So just a note about cutting these bolts off. Maybe tempting to use a abrasive tool of some kind, like a cutoff wheel or a Dremel. Resist the urge. It makes the little sparks that it makes are actually pieces of metal, and they're super hot, and they will stick to and potentially melt into the coating on the ceramic. I know this because I've done it and made some permanent silver metallic marks on a brand new toilet. So I'm going the old-fashioned way with a hacksaw. Okay, it's the moment of truth. We're gonna turn the water on. Hopefully we don't have any leaks. Tank is filling. It's not leaking out here yet. We'll see when the tank stops. Alright, tank is full. Looks like the float is set correctly. You don't want it, if it's set too high, the water will start to spill into here, and then your toilet will never shut off, basically, because the valve will always be open a little bit. But we're gonna flush and see if we get any mess on the floor. Yes, we are getting mess on the floor. Significant mess on the floor from the tank, bottom of the tank, down there. So I gotta sort that out. But other than that, I think it worked okay. Okay. 90% done, 99% done, we'll say. The leak under the tank here was basically the gasket between the tank and the bowl. So I just kind of fiddled with there's 3 bolts that hold that on. I kind of loosened them up and retightened them, and everything seems good now. So it must have just been caught or something. But it's attached, doesn't leak. The last thing I gotta do is run a bead of, I've got white silicone. So I'm gonna put a bead of that all the way around to seal that up. And then this will dry overnight, and then it'll be ready for use in the morning. Okay, there it is, final product. We'll let that dry tonight, set up, and then we should be in business.